So I bet you're wondering what the best side hustles are to make a little extra income. Which ones offer the most earning potential? Which ones have easy and flexible scheduling to help you get the most out of your time? Which ones offer the best growth potential? We're going to go over the best ones in this video. So pound that like button immediately and swiftly because you're definitely going to get value out of this video. So welcome you guys. You're watching Finance Squared, the channel that loves to talk about personal finances, stocks, bonds, entrepreneurship, improving your personal finances, and the technology that drives it all. I'm your host, Eric West, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to have a good time watching this video, so be sure to leave a like and a comment letting you know what I can do to be a better host of this channel. But I'm a huge fan of earning more money. The more, the merrier in my mind. I have a feeling you're the type of person where that is true as well. Otherwise, you would probably be watching a prank channel or cat videos or League of Legends highlights, something like that. Now, I'm afraid you, like me, are obsessed with the Benjamins, and the best way to get them, frankly. Get it? See what I did there? Now, of course, the best way to make the most money possible in your life is to get the skills that will pay the bills. And yes, that's with a Z, folks. But that, of course, can take weeks, months, even years of dedicated study and practice before it really even pays off. I, for example, when I'm not writing, filming, editing videos for you, like and subscribe, I'm writing software for my main source of income. Now, that didn't happen overnight. I spent many years in college learning the ins and outs, the fundamentals, the techniques, the tools of the trade. And even after all of that, I spent even more hours practicing that craft. And even after that, putting even more hours into learning more and more and staying up to date on all the events and the developments in my discipline and my particular industry of choice. That is a lot of time and frankly, money I spend to make sure my skills stay in top shape. But even with that, I always find time for a good side hustle. And I'm not even talking about my YouTube channel here. I'm talking about the time I spend creating websites and apps, selling stuff, whether it's via Amazon FBA or some kind of online presence such as Shopify, or even with other apps and other things that are relatively simple to get into. And I can tell you that I have tried a lot of side hustles, including working odd jobs that were not my main job, starting various businesses, driving for ride-sharing companies, and more things than I can even name. And I can tell you that some things are more worthy of your time than others. Some side hustles really don't offer much in the way of earning potential, scheduling freedom, or growth potential. And in fact, in some cases, you're better off just spending your time binging Netflix or just goofing off generally because the little bit of extra money you're gonna make is not gonna be worth the time that you're not gonna be spending enjoying yourself. The best side hustles offer a way to really start your own business and eventually be your own boss. I find that the best side hustles tend to be either creating stuff to sell in some form or fashion, utilizing your second largest expense, your automobile, for profit, or freelancing of some sort. The methodology I use to determine which side hustles are the best is finding which side hustles offer the best real money opportunities, which offer the best opportunities to grow and scale, and which can you do mostly on your spare time. And without further ado, I find that the side hustles really divide themselves into a couple of different categories. First, we have using your car to deliver groceries. Have you ever watched old-time movies or television programs from the 40s and 50s and ever saw like a milkman and you thought to yourself, why is it that no one delivers milk to my door? Well, in today's day and age, people are delivering more than just milk. Today's version of the milkman delivers milk and more to your door. He'll deliver all of your groceries, your takeout, food from restaurants, etc., all to the comfort of your own home. In fact, the demand for delivery drivers is only increasing thanks to the pandemic that we're all suffering through. Apps that allow you to sign up and deliver include Instacart, Postmates, Uber Eats, DoorDash, the list goes on. And depending on how good you are, you could get about $600 per month if you work in your spare time. Not a bad little side hustle. The scheduling is great as well. The only downside is that the growth potential is really not there. You can only deliver so many groceries. You are in fact one person, even though you may have multiple personalities. Yes, so you are only one person. And there are ways to be more efficient at delivering groceries, and we may take on that in a future video. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to learn more about that, by the way. But up next, we have using your car to ride share. Now, ride sharing has been a thing for a while now. In terms of the side hustle side of things, some people think it is the greatest thing since sliced bread. Others have very real and very legitimate criticisms of not only the companies, but the model in general. Now, in terms of full-time income, I tend to agree with a lot of the folks that have criticisms of ride sharing. But as far as earning a side income, it's not that bad at all. You know the big names in the game, Uber and Lyft, and there are thousands of others out there as well. Some of them are just local to the city that you're in, and they may expand outside depending on how well they do. But the earning potential is there in terms of side hustling. You can earn as much as $1,000 a month, and that's nothing to sneeze at, particularly considering it's not a full-time job. Combined with the fact that you have a flexible schedule, and you can work whenever you need to. And also, it just so happens that the best times to ride share are also the best times when the highest traffic is also occurring. This is when most 9-to-5ers have the most free time, early in the mornings and late in the evenings. So if you really hustle, you can make some serious extra coin simply going to and from your local airport in the morning before and after you go to work. Now, I talked about the downside a little bit earlier. The wear and tear on your car is no joke. The insurance that you'll need to have as a rideshare operator might also be quite expensive. And the fact that you can't really grow in the business is also a downside. Again, you are just one person. You have only one car that you can drive at any one time. Unless you build your own ride-sharing app, there's no way to really scale this business up any further. Next up, in terms of using your car, you can use your car and rent it out to folks. Some of the coolest new ways to build a passive income is to rent out your car. If you have a car that you don't use often, maybe you're in school or you're at work or you work from home like a lot of us are during this pandemic, you can rent it out to others. In fact, I have a friend who bought 3 cars to rent via these services, and he makes back his payments on them and more each month. These services allow you to list your car for rent on your terms. You set the price and the availability. So if you want to drive it, you don't have to worry. Plus, they cover insurance as well. Turo is the original car rental service and one of the greatest and one of the largest platforms. GetAround, a new competitor to Turo that allows you to rent your car, also exists. Maven is a car sharing service that focuses specifically on GM vehicles. If you own the cars outright, the profits could be in the thousands of dollars, not including upkeep. And if you don't own the cars, it might become slightly less profitable, but still at around $600 per month per vehicle. The scheduling is the best part. Basically, if your car is free, then instead of having it sit around in your garage getting rusty, it can be out there making you money. The growth potential is limited to the number of cars that you own. The more that you own, the more that you can make. But essentially, you become Hertz. And at that point, you're basically just either making repairs or buying and selling different cars. But then again, you would have your own business, just like Hertz does. It really is amazing how technology has allowed the average Joe to really start his own business. So on a slightly different vein, you can make good money side hustling by tutoring folks. Tutoring can be a very lucrative side hustle depending on what you decide to teach. I know what you're thinking already. What if I don't have anything to teach? Calm down. Just everybody calm down. Everyone has something that they can teach. For example, you're watching this video, no? You're watching this video, yes. If you're watching this video and you aren't using the subtitles, then you also likely have a pretty good understanding of English and can therefore likely speak it relatively well also, meaning you can at the very least teach conversational English to those looking to learn or expand their knowledge of conversational English. And one of the best ways to learn any language is to speak it. And here's the kicker. Because most of the people that want to learn English are in a time zone where it is daytime over there and nighttime over here, that means that you can work your main gig and tutor people online as your side gig. Interesting, no? Interesting, yes. Now, a lot of companies that will let you tutor require that you have a bachelor's degree and be comfortable teaching over a webcam at home. So that means having a good camera, good lighting, good mic, and all the bells and whistles that accompany that. The potential here is enormous. If you get really good, then maybe you might be able to make a career out of it. The earning potential can be about $400 extra a month. The scheduling is kind of tight though, like I mentioned earlier. All of your customers are going to be in a different time zone, and you'll have to accommodate their schedules to a large degree. But the growth potential is better than the ride-sharing options I was talking about earlier. But if you use platforms such as VIP Kid or GoGo Kid, then your growth options are limited. And tutoring just doesn't have to involve teaching English. So just keep that in mind. If you have a skill that you can share with others, tutoring might be the way to go. Next up is buying and reselling stuff. This is one of my favorite and more successful side hustles. I actually got started with Shopify and AliExpress back in 2016, before the internet and YouTube became all saturated with how-to videos on the topic, and before the business became much harder to scale. Today, the technology has improved so much so that there's a lot of people that make this their full-time job. If you do a search for flippers on Instagram, you'll see all kinds of people who are hustling and reselling stuff. And an even better deal is search Craigslist for free stuff and go get things for free to resell. It is possible. Gary Vee is a huge advocate for starting out this way, learning to sell and then scaling from there. Now, we all know about the big guys, eBay, Amazon. The earning potential from this side hustle can be enormous as well. As I'm sure you've seen on YouTube, there are people who make 8-figure businesses using Shopify and other resale websites. Like I mentioned earlier, it is harder today, but it's still possible. And the scheduling is fantastic. Basically nights, weekends, whenever you have free time. The next thing to do is create stuff to sell. Maybe you're not into scavenging for things to sell, but you have the skill to craft things to sell. If so, you can sell your own products online. From creating stationery and unique gifts to household items to printables or downloadables, the potential for selling your own stuff is limitless. For example, Etsy seller shops, Amazon KDP, things of that nature. The earning potential can be up to $600 per month or more. And again, scheduling is awesome, so it's a 10 out of 10, and the growth potential is also huge. Next up is a little bit of sweat equity. If you have the ability to help people move, you can easily make money in your spare time. Maybe you have a truck, or maybe you're just strong and can lift heavy furniture. There are people all over the country, all over the world as a matter of fact, that need help to move. From moving their own houses to when they buy furniture and need someone to help them get that furniture home. If you're just the muscle, you won't earn as much, but if you have a truck as well, you can really earn a ton. There's an app called Dolly, which connects people looking for help moving their stuff. Earning potential here is pretty significant as well, about $300 per month. The scheduling is not as great because you have to work around other people's schedules when they have their stuff ready to move and when they are willing and able to let you into their house. The growth potential here is pretty bad as well. And you might only have one truck. Maybe you have a moving company. In the end though, you're limited by the amount of people that need to move their stuff. What if you could be a handyman? What if you're handy around the house? Can you mount pictures or a TV? Can you assemble furniture or set up smart home devices? If so, you can get paid for doing it for people near you. If you have the skills, there are people out there looking for help. There's an app called Handy that connects people looking for handy individuals. Also, there's Amazon Home Services. Scheduling again is not that great because you basically need to be available on demand, which is not great for your schedule. The growth potential here is limited again because you're only one you, and you can't really clone yourself. And even if you couldn't take the money from your clone and give it to yourself. That's slavery, dude. I know, I'm being ridiculous. But next up, in terms of side hustles that can make you money, you can share your space. Similar to listing your car, you can also list your house, or your room, or a garage, or any other space you might have where someone could stay, someone or something, like a car. I've seen people listing their backyards for camping locations. The possibilities are limitless. You just need to put in a little effort to make your house or space friendly for potential people to come on over. That includes cleaning it up and getting extra sets of keys and taking really good property photos or hiring someone to do that, things like that. And really making everything really just nice and hospitable. Everything else can be handled online. Airbnb is the original space sharing platform and one of the largest to let you list your space. Booking.com is also a huge travel site with tons of traffic that allows individual listings. Earning potentials here can get kind of ridiculous. Thousands of dollars per month. The scheduling is mostly good. Like I said, all you have to do is prepare your space and voila, you're pretty much done. And if your space is empty, then it can be rented out at any time. And if you have a space that's always empty, then you have the opportunity for the ever elusive passive income. Like I said, the growth potential here can be massive. There are people that have become millionaires simply by renting out their places and turning them into Airbnb listings and then letting the cash flow in. So what's your next step? Click on one of the videos on the screen right now, as I have videos about sharing your space coming up in the very near future. I also have other videos on very similar topics that I'm sure you're going to want to check out. And remember, a goal without a plan is a wish. A goal with a plan and no action is a wish list. I'm going to get out of here, guys. Have a great time finding the side hustle that works for you, and I'll talk to you next time. Take it easy. Peace.